Hello and welcome from Rockford, Michigan. I'm Jim Flanagan. You're watching the 2024 USA Softball Men's Major National Championship right here on the Gremlins channel. Alongside me, Luciano Lofrano working all the dials as always. Broadcast brought to you by Softball Premier TV, the #1 leading streaming service in the world. Just about ready to get underway in this matchup here. This is a winner's bracket semifinal. New York Gremlins taking on the Circle Tap Dukes. The Dukes coming off a late night win last night. 3-2 win over Bear Creek Express in 10 innings. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Let's get to the starting lineups. The Gremlins will be the visitors. Here's the way they'll stack up today. Matthew Waugh leading things off. He'll be followed by Eric Ochoa in the 2 spot. Benny Noka 3. Cole Evans hitting cleanup. Brian Avery and Hunter, the 2 British Columbians, batting 5 and 6. Abelardo Peñuelas in right field, batting 7th. Ladislao Malarzuk batting 8th, and Nick Mullins, the catcher, batting 9th. The defense for the Circle Tap team in the outfield, left to right. Tyler Johnson in left, Scott Patterson in center, Callum Bischel over in right field. Around the infield, Matt Harrow at third, Franco Ortellado at short, Justin Laskowski at second base, Matt Palazzo, captain of the USA team, over at first base. First pitch offered by the pitcher, Matthew Beckett, and he'll be throwing to Tyler Damon, who draws the catching duties. Just underway, coming up on the 1 o'clock hour, going off right on schedule. A little bit of wind kicking up here in Rockford, not terribly hard, but you may hear some of that wind noise. We'll do our best to keep it to a minimum. Beckett, one of 4 Australians on this Circle Tap team. Foul back to the screen. The Australians, Matt, Pat, and Bischel. Matt Beckett, Matt Harrow, the third baseman, Scott Patterson, and Callum Bischel. Scott in center, as we mentioned, and Callum over in right field. So all 4 Aussies here in the starting lineup for the Circle Tap Dukes. A little low on that one. We saw Beckett in Ashland. We saw him again more recently over in Elkland. The Gremlins didn't play them in Elkland last week. But at the time they did face him earlier in the season, managed to keep them off balance through a very good game. So big win for the Dukes last night. They came in as the #5 ranked team, knocking off the #4 ranked team in the ISC rankings, Bear Creek Express. Great game pitched by Devin McCullough, one of their other aces. That one's lined to short. One hopper up with it is Ortellado. Over to first baseman Matt Palazzo. So first out of the game recorded, 6-3 if you're keeping a book with us at home. McCullough, an interesting story yesterday. Started out against Midland, gave up 5 runs in the first inning. They brought in Segura to stem the tide. Circle Tap came back with 1 in their first and 5 more in the second. Eventually went on to win the game, but Devin, not his usual self yesterday morning, then comes out last night and just threw a whale of a game against Bear Creek. Eric Ochoa at the plate, top of the hit leaders for the Gremlins in almost all the categories. Home run last night in their nightcap game. He's now got 10, 4 more than anyone else on the team. Most of the top hitters all with 20 some odd hits, 22, 23. Eric Ochoa, 38. He's been the driving force behind the offense for the Gremlins. couple, three different batting slots that they've had him in. He was at the 3 spot for a while when Jerome Remicky was batting second, as he did last year. But Jerome, of course, out with that wrist injury, hit by a pitch in Saskatoon. So the skipper, Greg Leather, has moved Ochoa around. Swing and a miss on that one. Good pitch by Beckett. Bottom line, just looking to make sure they get the maximum number of at-bats out of Ochoa. So he has been typically either 2, 3, or 4. Today he's in the 2 spot with Inoka and Evans behind him. Swing and a miss late on that pitch, away. Some success that pitchers have had pitching Ochoa away, but as we talk about, Eric likes to go that way. Sprays the ball to all fields, so if it's away, it needs to be well off the plate or downstairs. Foul tip. Again, going away from Ochoa, just gets a piece of that one. Again, the battery for the Circle Tap Dukes. Matthew Beckett, the Australian, pitching to Tyler Damon. Damon was the runner on base that came home to score that run last night in the 10th inning of that game with Bear Creek. Driven in by Scott Patterson, the hero of the night. Ball low, Ochoa lays off. Quite a number of New York Gremlins with double digits in the walk category. They can be a patient team, and it usually pays dividends for them. Hard enough getting through that batting order with just normal swings, but when you start putting runners aboard with free passes, those runs come in bunches. Hard grounder foul up along third. Gremlins come into this game with a record of 27-3. They won the Chiefs Challenge at Simcoe. They won the Port Huron, Michigan tournament, finished second in Ashland to the Drillers, and last week a big winner laced into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Add one more to the tally for Eric Ochoa. He's aboard with a 1-out single. See on the replay, Beckett catching just a little bit too much of the plate, and Ochoa says, "Thank you, I'll take it." Ball up in the zone, rifle to right field. Here's Benny Noka. Benny, one of those aforementioned players, tallying quite a number of walks. He and Mullins and Redemar all trading spots for the top spot, but all with plenty of free base runners. For some reason, Benny seems to be a favorite target. A couple of hit by pitches to go with it, so I guess if you add those in, Benny's at the top of the free pass list. That one's in for a called strike. Our umpiring crew in this one, behind home plate, Steve Meeker from Medford, Oregon. Kevin Wallace down at first base. Kevin from Shipman, Illinois. And Dallas Affenbacher from Eagan, Minnesota over at third. In for a call strike on the outside edge. So Beckett trying to stay out of the wheelhouse. Don't want to give Mr. Inoka anything inside. Good power to left center. He will lift the ball to that part of the outfield. There's one over, a little foul. It's going to be out of play. Chasing it down was Palazzo, but just ran out of real estate over there by first base. Benny coming in with a .313 batting average, so a number of hits yesterday got him up over that magic 300 mark. Line shot to center field. Clean base hit. Ochoa takes a turn or step at second. He'll hold on as Patterson gets the ball back in. A line shot off the bat of Inoka gives the Gremlins 2 aboard with 1 out, and here's Cole Evans. Clean base hit to center field, Benny Inoka. Cole Evans with a chance to drive in the first run of the game. If Ochoa is number 1 in most of the offensive categories, Cole Evans has been right behind him at number 2. Cole had a home run in the semifinal last week in Elkland, had a homer in the championship game in Elkland, and first game out here yesterday had a homer. Safe to say good power has Evans. Cole coming in batting at .380. On base percentage well over 400, approaching the 500 mark. Right on the outside edge. Good location by Matthew Beckett. It's Ochoa at second, Inoka over at first, Evans at the plate. Heart of the Gremlins batting order. Lifted out into foul territory, up and over on the right side. A ball and 2 to Cole Evans. Harrow at third, couple 3 steps off the bag. Ball upstairs. Nibbling around the edges is Beckett. The infield again, Harrow, Ortellado, Laskowski, and Palazzo. Matt playing just a step or so in front of the bag at first and a couple steps off the line. Outfield straightaway. Little pop-up in the infield. It'll carry out a play on the right. We'll do it again. Low and off the plate for a ball. So that'll run the count full on Cole Evans. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out in the inning. Ball 4 and Evans is aboard, and the Gremlins have the bases loaded in the first inning. We talked about the patience exhibited by the Gremlin hitters. Exhibit A for the day is Cole Evans down at first, and the batter will be Blake Hunter. Blake, the designated player in this one. Hunter looks at a ball off the plate. Hunter and Avery, a couple of options that skipper Greg Leather likes having. Very versatile. Blake will do some catching along with Nick Mullins, the starter for today. Can play some third base, as can Brian Avery, who's there today. Both of them, Avery and Hunter, with plenty of pop in the bat. If you look at the slugging category, always extra base hits by both of them. Hunter coming in just shy of the 300 mark in the batting average. Looks at that one, it goes to the screen, gets away from Damon, and in comes Ochoa, standing up for the first run. Looked like the ball just took off. You'll see it here on the replay. Hits the top of the glove and didn't quite grab it, and it winds up at the backstop. In for a run comes Ochoa. Gremlins now with runners at second and third. It's Evans at second, Inoka at third. 1-0 Gremlins here in the early going. In for a call, strike, good location right at the knees on Blake Hunter. And Hunter aboard with a walk, so the free passes continue to mount for the Gremlins, continue to add to the tallies for the offense. Here's Brian Avery. The inning started with a ground out by Matthew Waugh. Ochoa and Inoka with clean singles to right and center respectively. And now a pair of walks has Matthew Beckett in trouble again. Brian Avery at the plate. Swing and a miss, good location away. Avery right around the 300 mark, comes in with 3 doubles, 2 triples, and a homer. Need an extra base hit. Call Avery. In for a called strike, good location. Beckett dials in, a little more focused against Avery after surrendering the 2 walks. Still just 1 out in the inning. Gremlins trying to break it open. Little roller out to second base, the only play he's got. Over to Palazzo for the out. Inoka coming home to score run number 2. Hunter and Evans moving up to second and third. Watch it on the replay. Not a hard hit ball, but it pulled second baseman Laskowski off the spot a little bit. The only out he had was at first base. Inoka jogging home well ahead. So 4-3 on the putout, 2 outs now. And here's the youngster from Mexico, Abelardo Peñuelas. Peñuelas joined the club for the Ashland tournament and is quick becoming a fixture in that lineup. He has just done so much that it's hard to keep him out of the lineup. Technically speaking, he's even ahead of Ochoa in the batting average category. 16 for 30, over the 500 mark. Swing and a miss on that one. Not quite enough at-bats to qualify, as they say, but he has been on the base more than not, literally. Extra base hits to go with it. Couple of doubles, 3 triples. Great speed. Way upstairs, misses high. That's the same pitch that brought Ochoa home on the wild pitch. Damon able to get upstairs and hang on to that one, keep it in front. Little changeup. Sort of an over-the-top drop, but he took a lot off it. Peñuelas, just a piece of it. Way upstairs, that one sails to the backstop. Evans jogs home with run number 3. Wild pitch for Beckett. Looked like he just tried to get under the rise ball too much. Not quite the angle on the replay, but you'll see where the pitch goes. Peñuelas looking, and it just sailed way over his head. So Hunter now over at third, all alone on the bases. foul tip out of play on the left. So the Gremlins cashing in already for 2 runs. They got a couple of hits, the 2 walks and the 2 pass balls, costly in the early going for Circle Tap. Way upstairs off the glove of Damon. Here comes Hunter, slides, safe at home. No play. So the Gremlins clear the bases and have their big first inning, something that all teams like to stay out of against the Gremlins. But the wild pitch is costly. Foul tip out of play on the left side. Fouled out of play as Abelardo continues to hack away. With his 16 hits so far in this season, he's only been around for a couple, 3 tournaments. This is his 3rd tournament. He's generated 13 RBI, but nobody out on the bases anymore. So he'll have to reset, try and start another rally here. Fly ball out to left field. A beat on it has Tyler Johnson, and he hauls it in for the final out. The Gremlins cash in for 4 big runs in the top of the first inning. 2 hits, a couple of walks, and 3 wild pitches contribute to the onslaught. We'll head to the bottom half of the first inning, get our first look at the Circle Tap Dukes right after this. I'm Jim Flanagan. You're watching the Gremlins Network right here on Softball Premier TV. We'll be back. Home half of the first inning for Circle Tap as they try and climb out of that deficit. We mentioned that yesterday they had the same sort of start against the Midland Explorers in their very first game. They surrendered a 5 spot to Midland and then bounced back with 1 in the first and 5 in the second inning. They'll have to see if they can do something similar here. Batting order for Circle Tap, it's Scott Patterson. At the top of the order, Callum Bischel, both of those gentlemen from Australia. Matt Palazzo hitting 3rd, Blair Ezekiel 4th, Justin Laskowski 5th, Tyler Damon 6th, Franco Ortellado 7th, Matt Harrow 8th, and Tyler Johnson in the 8th spot. Swing and a miss on a hard one. In the circle, the ace of the Gremlin staff, it's Jack Besgrove. He's pitching to Nick Mullins behind the plate. The outfield for New York, Wah in left, Inoka in center, and Penuelas over in right field. Around the horn, Avery at 3rd, Evans at short, Ladislao Malarczuk swinging a hot bat of late at second base, and Eric Ochoa at first base. That's the way the Gremlin defense looks on this Saturday semifinal of the winner's bracket. Swing and a miss, big roundhouse rise. No chance to catch up with that one as Patterson. Jack pitched the nightcap last night, a run rule affair, 16-2 win over Glowworm out of San Antonio, Texas. And the skipper elects to come right back with Jack here in the semifinal. Rise ball stays upstairs. All teams, of course, shooting to try and get into that winner's bracket final. That one going off at 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight. The winner of this game against the winner of Hill United and the Drillers, the Northeast Drillers. So rather than a rotation of pitchers, he goes with the ace, Jack Besgrove. By far the most innings pitched for anyone on the squad this year. Jack being used in relief on a frequent basis. So not only the starts, but effective as a reliever. Ball high, a little extra velocity on that one. Let's go with that one, let it fly. Not a set pattern necessarily, but a couple, 3 occasions where we've seen Besgrove come out of the bullpen and close out the 5th, 6th, and 7th inning. More often than not, it's 9 up and 9 down. High hopper to short. Evans up with it. Clean throw to Ochoa. A little wide, pulls him away from the bag, but Eric staying put. So 2 quick outs in the inning. Wind still blowing in from center field towards home. That's where we're sitting, right behind the dish. Best seat in the house, and we're happy to share it with you on the Gremlins Network. Here's Matt Palazzo. Ball off the plate. Ball missing inside. Besgrove given up 2 runs yesterday in that nightcap, that 16-2 win, but both of those runs unearned, scoring on an error. Jack very stingy in the hits and runs category. Ball upstairs. Not a lot of walks either, which contributes to that low ERA, 0.73. Ball low, and Matt Palazzo shows some patience, works a walk with 2 outs, and it'll be Blair Ezekiel stepping to the plate. Ezekiel has all members of the family, Blair, Brad, and Kyle, all with good power. Kyle, a home run last weekend in Elkland against the Gremlins off of Mr. Osika, late in the game to extend what would have been a run rule win had he not. Blair, one of the veteran leaders on this Circle Tap Duke team. Check swing, a little foul tip off the fence here in front of us. Wind still kicking up a bit. Not sure if you can make that out, but in the outfield, the treetops sort of waving in the breeze. A pretty stiff one at this point. Open stance for Ezekiel. foul tip will do it again. Laskowski waiting on deck if Ezekiel can reach. Rise ball lifted out of play over the top of us at home. So no balls, 2 strikes on Ezekiel. Advantage Jack Bestgrove. Low pitch, a little slow grounder to Ochoa. Scoops it up and steps on the bag. Side retired. For the Dukes in the first. No runs, no hits, a man left. We head to the top half of the second inning. Gremlins on top, 4-0. We'll be back with more from the 2024 USA Softball Men's Major National Championship right here on the Gremlins Network. Top half of the second as we head along in this winner's bracket semifinal. 7 batters coming to the plate in the first inning, generating the 4 runs. So we're down to 8-9, and then back to the top of the order. It'll be Ladislao Malarzuk. The Argentine will step in to lead things off for the Gremlins. Laddie, as we mentioned, really swinging a hot bat of late. Homered in the Elkland tournament, homered yesterday in that nightcap, a 3-run shot to left center. Swing and a miss. Looked like he had an idea about that one as well. Umpires again, Steve Meeker behind the plate, Kevin Wallace at first, and Dallas Offenbacher at third. Lifted out into high and deep, back on it. And up against the fence is Callum Bischel. Just missed with that one, did Laddie? So put a good charge into it, not quite deep enough to get out of here. Here's Nick Mullins. Speaking of getting out of here, Mullins with a tee shot yesterday to left center, launched it. That was in the game against Pueblo. Broke open a 0-0 tie at the time. Melvin Bautista for Pueblo pitching a good game into the 4th inning, but it caught up with him with 2 runners aboard. Mullins launched it. Swing and a miss, good changeup from Beckett. Mullins way out in front. Mullins in a hole here, 0-2. Beckett trying to close it out. Ball off the plate low. Drop ball looked like he tried to turn it over with the wrist and just sort of lost the release point. Swing and a miss, good rise ball away from Mullins, down on strikes. He goes. So a little different inning for Matthew Beckett than the first, but here's the fellow that started that 4-run rally back in the first, Matthew Waugh. First strikeout of the game for Matthew Beckett in the early going here. Ball inside. Strike down the heart of Main Street with that one in hard from Beckett. Bear Creek, a winner in the losers bracket this morning over Ostrander, 6-0 in that one. Laced to the gap in left center field. That one's going to roll towards the fence, cut off by Patterson, who comes up with a nice throw to second base just behind Matthew Waugh. Watch the replay. It looked like it might roll all the way to the fence, but Patterson getting over quickly keeps Waugh at second. So Matthew aboard in scoring position with 2 out. Here's Eric Ochoa. Eric with a clean single to right his first time up. Started the 4-run rally. Right at the letters in for a called strike. Eric Ochoa shaking his head, not what he was looking for in a strike. High fly to left field, going to carry over in the corner. But Johnson runs out of space right up against the fence. Almost home run depth. Eric going away with the pitch. Watch on the replay, you'll see the hips turn, follow through nicely. Just a little bit behind that one. Foul tip back to the screen again. Ochoa just hacking away. Bichel playing Ochoa fairly deep out in right field, as are Johnson and Patterson in left and right, giving him plenty of room. 10 homers on the year, so not a bad idea. Way upstairs, Damon just able to spear that one. 3 wild pitches in that first inning contributed to the 4 runs. And Beckett struggling to find the zone with that rise ball. Plenty of velocity and movement, just not where he wants it. Change up, laced to right center field, and that one carries on out. Line shot by Eric Ochoa. 2 more runs for the Gremlins. 11 home runs on the season for Eric Ochoa. Watch on the replay. And that ball was down. He golfs it. Never got more than a few feet over that right field fence, but out of the ballpark in a hurry. So 2 more. Gremlins scoring with 2 outs. Benny Noka will step in. Benny with a clean single, a line shot in his first trip to the plate, right up the middle. In for a call, strike on the outside edge. Gremlins a little slow in their first game yesterday to get the wheels turning. They came off a very hot offensive weekend in Elkland, Pennsylvania, but got started. They did last night, 16 runs, and today jumping on the Dukes, already 6-0 here in the second inning. Ball away. High hopper going to find its way up the middle. Around first is Inoka, aboard with his second hit in 2 at-bats. So the hit parade continues for the Gremlins. Not much you can do about that ball. Had it destination center field. Here's Cole Evans. Cole with a walk and scored one of those 4 runs in the first. Hard one on the outside edge, missing. Way upstairs off the glove of Damon. Inoka down to second. 4th wild pitch for Beckett. Hard grounder foul. If you're wondering about other pitchers on the Circle Tap team, they've got Segura, Jorge Segura, the right-hander from Guatemala. Devin McCullough. Devin pitched the 10-inning game last night, so I suspect he's not the first one we would see if they make a pitching change. Segura came into the game yesterday when they fell behind 5-0 to Midland and managed to stop the bleeding. Little change up, misses. The inning started with a fly out and a strikeout. Looked like Beckett might have settled in after a tough first inning, but then Matthew Waugh with a double and Eric Ochoa with a line shot home run to right center. That one's lifted foul, given chase around the foul line, but it's going to go out of play. So the count full on Evans, as it was in his first at-bat. He walked in the first. Hop and a skip. That one bounces in the dirt, gets away from Damon. Over to third goes Inoka. So Evans aboard for the second time. A pair of walks for Cole. Still 2 outs. And the batter, Blake Hunter. Ball off the plate outside. in for a call strike, so he moves it over a couple of inches and finds the strike zone. Blake Hunter, 4th on the team in home runs. He's got 4. Always a dangerous out. In for a call strike on the outside edge. Quick chat with Hunter, trying to see where that line is between ball and strike. Ball off the plate. So Beckett struggled in the first, the 3 wild pitches. Had a good start to this inning, but back in trouble with runners at the corners, still 2 out. Foul tipped straight back to the screen. Hunter just missed that one, saw a pitch he liked, took a good hack at it. Off the plate away, Hunter, patient. On deck, Brian Avery, if Hunter can put the ball in play. So the count once again 3-2. Beckett having to come in with a pitch. Swing and a miss. Hunter chases one outside and off the plate for the 3rd out. So Beckett finally retires the side for the Gremlins in the inning. They score 2 more on the home run by Ochoa. 3 hits in the inning. To the bottom half of the 2nd inning we go. 6-0 Gremlins. You're watching the Gremlins Network, and I'm Jim Flanagan. We'll be back with more of the 2024 USA Softball Men's Major from Rockford, Michigan. Home half of the 2nd inning, 5, 6, and 7 for the Dukes. Justin Laskowski starting things off. Tyler Damon and Franco Orteado will be next. Dukes on the short end of a 6-0 score right now, trying to climb back in a couple at a time, perhaps. Jack Besgrove, not the kind of pitcher you expect to score a bunch of runs against in any inning, so plenty of ball to play, and I think that's the way the Dukes will look at it. Bobby Ginger, the first base coach, and Scott Standifer, the veteran skipper, down at 3rd. A couple of knowledgeable people in the coaches' boxes. Foul tip by Laskowski. Bobby, of course, a longtime pitcher out of the Illinois area. Semi-retired, but obviously not when it comes to fast pitch. Swing and a miss. Inside comes Jack Besgrove. Strikeout number 2 in the game. And the batter, Tyler Damon. Damon, as we mentioned, was the base runner coming home to score the run in that 10-inning game against Bear Creek last night. Probably the best game of the day, maybe the tournament thus far. Number 4, Bear Creek, and number 5, Circle Tap, going at it into the wee hours of the morning. Hard drop over the top, in for a called strike. Two balls and a strike to Tyler Damon. Foul tip late on it is Damon, gets just a piece of it. Thought the ball was by him completely, but somehow making some contact. Same pitch, same result, just a little piece of it gets Tyler Damon. Bestgrove really turning the dial up. Great velocity that Jack has. They don't talk about his sometimes as much. I think the focus tends to be on how much the ball is moving, but other than Diaz, he's up near the top in the velocity category. Throws that one almost by him. Damon having himself a pretty good at-bat, making an effort to put it in play. Over the top drop, a little slow roller. He'll have to hurry. Not in time. Damon able to beat it out. Not a hard hit ball, but Ladislao Malarzuk had to come a long way. You'll see it on the replay. And by the time he got to it, tough turn from that angle, and Damon beats it out. Second base runner, first hit of the game for the Dukes. Here's Franco Ortellado. Courtesy runner Cody Smith, number 11, will come on to run at first base for the catcher, Tyler Damon. Smith with those high socks always make you run faster, I think. Rise ball stays upstairs, misses. Swing and a miss late on the rise ball. Good location. Good elevation on the pitch by Jack Bestgrove. Jack surrendering just 3.5 runners on base throughout a 7-inning game. Not sure who the half is, but few and far between are base runners against Bestgrove. Right on the outside edge for a called strike. A ball 2, Jack advantage here against Ortellado. Line shot to second, right on by the hole. Up with it, and the throw by Peñuelas on the mark at third. That keeps Cody Smith, the base runner, out at second. Malarzuk looked like he was shaded a little bit at the start of the pitch towards second, that one finding a hole. Ortellado with the first hard hit ball against Bestgrove. Here's Matt Harrow. Fouling out of play on the left side. Swing and a miss late on the ball inside, ties him up. Good location by Bestgrove, now ahead 0-2. Swing and a miss on the drop ball. Buried that one downstairs. Second strikeout of the inning for Bestgrove, third in the game. It'll be up to Tyler Johnson to try and get Cody Smith and Ortellado home. Right on by Johnson with that one. Foul tip out of play on the left side. Will go again. Johnson slapping the bat against his thigh, making a face as if that was the pitch he wanted. Now finds himself in a hole 0-2. Smith at second on the second base side of the bag, trying to look over the shoulder of Jack Bestgrove. Ortellado on the bag at first. Eric Ochoa just a couple of steps off. Ball gets away from Mullins. Wild pitch from Jack Bestgrove. Runners moving up now at second and third. Mullins will go out and have a quick word. I'm thinking maybe got crossed up on it. Watch the replay. Maybe we can pick up something. Or not. There we go. Wild pitch pass ball, I guess. We'll let you decide. Our official scorekeeper will tell us. But regardless, the runners now at second and third. Tyler Johnson with a chance to cash in a couple for the Dukes. Grounder to third. Avery up with it. Over to Ochoa. Side retired. No runs in for the Dukes in the second. They get a couple of hits. A couple of men left. To the top of the third we go. Still 6-0 Gremlins. Winners bracket semifinal here on Saturday. Finals tomorrow. We'll be back with more. Don't go away. Top of the third inning for the Gremlins. On top right now, 6-0, vying for a spot in tonight's 8 p.m. winners bracket final. That will be the winner of the Hill United Northeast Drillers game. So in this final four, this one is 1 versus 5. Number 1 ranked Gremlins, number 5 Circle Tap. In the other, number 2 ranked Hill United taking on number 3 ranked Northeast Drillers. Back to the action we go. It'll be Brian Avery to start things off. Matthew Beckett still in the circle for the Dukes. 6, 7, 8 in the batting order for New York. So Peñuelas and Malarzouk to follow. Swing and a miss late is Avery. Good location away from the righty Avery. Grounder up the middle, base hit, Brian Avery. Looked like the ball was a little bit inside, but with those powerful forearms, he just fights it right up the middle. Avery aboard with a base hit. It'll be Abelardo Peñuelas to step in. Sixth hit of the game for the Gremlins on that single by Avery. Fouled out of play. We said earlier he had 3 triples. It's actually 3 doubles and 2 triples. So among his 16 hits, plenty for extra bases. A lot of those just flat out speed. He will not hesitate to stretch a single to what would normally not be a double. "22 years of age, coming out of the Mexican junior program. So much upside for that talent. Abelardo arriving late yesterday, some plane delay, so we missed him in that first game. Foul out of play on the left side. Very calm, confident player at the plate, much more so than his years would suggest. Foul out of play again. Just trying to go the other way with it. Eric Ochoa has taken Abelardo under his wing, so to speak, and what a great role model for the youngster to have as he continues to develop his talents in this game at the elite level. That one's a 34-foot drop. Looked like Beckett lost the grip coming through with that one. So once again, the count full, 3-2. Two walks in the first, one more in the second. And Beckett with a number of 3-2 counts puts Peñuelas in a spot where he's looking for a pitch in the zone. Swing and a miss. Great location downstairs. Peñuelas unable to catch up with that one. It'll bring Ladislao Malarzouk to the plate. Strikeout number 3 for Beckett in the third. Malarzouk, a fly out to deep right field his first time up. He had Callum Bichel right up against the fence. Foul tipped the other way. Hop and a skip gets away from Damon. Down to second goes Avery. Wild pitch for Beckett. Three of those in the first inning, one more in the second. Now another wild pitch in the third. Deep center field, back against the fence. Not quite far enough. So Malarzouk has come twice as close as you can come without getting it out of the yard. Watch the replay. Location is up and Laddie unloads, just not quite enough. Here's Nick Mullins. Mullins, a strikeout victim his first time to the plate. Avery still looking in from second base, trying to find a way home. Called strike. Way upstairs, Damon chases that one down. Tyler getting a workout behind home plate. Time and a half on the pay card for Damon. Strike at the letters. Mullins' skewed eye back to our home plate umpire, Steve Meeker. I'm sure he'll remind him that he would like that pitch on the other side of the ledger. Selective is Mullins, catcher's eye. Ball upstairs high. If you joined us late, the Gremlins, 4 runs in the first, 2 more in the second. That's where we are right now. 6-0. Lace to right field. Running over to run it down is center fielder Scott Patterson. Catches up with that one. So good defense. Gets the circle tap Dukes out of trouble in the third. For the Gremlins, no runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. To the home half of the third we go. 6-0 Gremlins. You're watching the Gremlins Network. I'm Jim Flanagan. We'll be back with more. Home half of the third for Circle Tap, still on the short end of a 6-0 score. Back to the top of the order, so second time through. Patterson, Bichel, and Palazzo for the Dukes. The other winners bracket semi going off on the other field behind us. Hill United and the Northeast Drillers. Strike in at the knees. Patterson, a strikeout victim, his first trip to the plate of the swinging variety. In for a called strike on the outside edge. So Bestgrove, member of the Australian national team, the ace of that staff, facing 4 of his teammates on circle tap. Patterson is 1, Bichel waiting on deck, another. Just missing with that one. Jack sort of kicking at the dirt a little bit, trying to will that one into being a strike. No score in that Hill United Northeast Driller game. They're in the 4th inning. Change up and a beauty, floats it in. Not quite. Swing and a miss. That's the pitch he got him on last time. Down and away. Patterson goes for the 2nd time today. 1 out for the Dukes. It'll be Callum Bichel. Fourth strikeout of the game for Jack Bestgrove, averaging just shy of 10 a game. In for a called strike at the knees. In one of the losses, one of the 3 losses the Gremlins had, it was a 1-0 affair to Hill United. Bestgrove still had 15 strikeouts to show at the end of the action. Hard one in on the outside edge. No balls in 2 on Callum Bichel. Bichel grounded out first time up. Ball hit to Cole Evans at short. Line to right field. That one's going to be down in the corner, but foul. Peñuelas running it down. Line shot into the hole right by Eric Ochoa, and Bichel hits one on the screws for a 1-out single. There you see in the replay, the ball was away, but Bichel just going the other way with it. Hard hit ball. Here's Matt Palazzo. Misses inside with that one. Matt, of course, a longtime member of USA's national team. So he and catcher Mullins, no strangers. Palazzo walked in the first. Swing and a miss late on the rise ball. Snuck that one by him. Palazzo will be out with Team USA in September at the WBSC qualifier. That one's lifted high and shallow. Evans fighting off the sun, makes the catch over at the foul line, or at the fence beyond the foul line. You could see the sun reflecting in his glasses, so not an easy play, but he manages to hold on. Blair Ezekiel steps in. Blair a ground out to Ochoa at first, back in the first. That one gets away from Mullins, but he runs it down, keeps Bichel at first. Hard one misses away. Ball upstairs high. A ball and 2 to Blair Ezekiel. Bichel still over at first base. Upstairs and aboard with a walk is Ezekiel. So a little bump in the road for Jack Besgrove. Runners at first and second. 2 outs in the inning. And the batter will be Cody Smith. Smith was on the scorecard initially as the courtesy runner. Now batting in Laskowski's spot in the order. Ball stays up high, and Mullins going to go out and have a quick word with his ace. Make sure they're on the same page and try and get Jack back into the rhythm. He's got 4 strikeouts to this point, and there are 2 outs in the inning. Four undefeated teams left in this tournament. At the end of the hour or 2, there will just be 2. Ball upstairs high. Misses up high again, and Besgrove sort of kicking at the dirt, the landing area out at the front of the circle. Something bothering him a little bit, just looking for that smooth landing area, I think. Sometimes it takes just the smallest thing to get you out of sync. Comes back in with a hard one on the outside edge. A little better on that one, still kicking at the dirt. Lots of rain on Thursday night. The fields dried very quickly after that initial rain delay. Looking a little bit on the dry side this morning, or early afternoon. Missing away, so Cody Smith works the walk. 2 in a row now for Besgrove, uncharacteristically. And the Dukes with their best look at the game, bases loaded. And Tyler Damon, the catcher, stepping in. The inning started with a strikeout to Patterson, but a hit by Bichel, and now a pair of walks, giving the Dukes a chance to climb back in. Misses inside with the pitch. Besgrove still kicking at the dirt in front of the circle. Way upstairs. Besgrove looking to throw a strike, but not wanting to give in at the same time with the bases loaded. In for a called strike at the letters. Two and one on Damon. Hard grounder to short. Evans up with it over to Ochoa. Side retired, and Jack Besgrove pitches out of a bases loaded situation in the third. For the Dukes in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, 3 men left. To the top of the 4th we go. We'll be back with more Gremlins on top of the Dukes from Denmark, Wisconsin. Here in Rockford, Michigan. We'll be back. Top of the fourth inning for New York, and top of the order. Matthew Waugh steps in for his third look at Matthew Beckett. Matthew 1 for 2 on the day. Ground out to short and a double to left center field. High and deep to left, but playable. Tyler Johnson, a couple 3 steps for the catch. 1 out. Ochoa started the day with 37 hits, which is about 15 more than anyone else on the team. He's added 2 more, single to right and a homer line shot to right field. .481 batting average to start the day, 2 for 2. We'll let you do the math. Entering the twilight zone when it comes to batting stats. High and deep to center field. Back is Patterson against the fence and makes the catch for the second out. Third ball, the Gremlins have hit to the warning track. The other 2 by Malar-Zook. Eric just missed. So Benny Noka stepping to the plate with 2 outs and nobody aboard. 15 RBI on the season, but won't have a chance here. A couple of hops to third. Up with it is Harrow over to Palazzo. Side retired, easy inning for Matthew Beckett. His first of the game, 1-2-3. For the Gremlins, no runs, no hits, and nobody left. Home half of the fourth coming right up. You're watching the 2024 USA Softball Men's Major National Championship from Rockford, Michigan. I'm Jim Flanagan on the Gremlins Network. We'll be back. For the fourth for Circle Tap. 7-8-9 starting with Franco Ortellado. It was Ortellado that got the first hit of the game for Circle Tap. They have 3 to this point into the top or the bottom of the fourth inning. In for a called strike from Bestgrove. Ortellado's single was to right field, a shot through the hole between Malar-Zook and Ochoa. High hopper. Malar-Zook have to hurry. Not in time. Another one of those balls that took forever to come down. By the time Ladislao picked it up, over to first. On board with his second hit of the day is Ortellado. Here's Matt Harrow. Harrow struck out swinging first time up. High hopper again to Malarzouk, this time in time to get the out. Just ahead of Matt Harrow with the throw. So Ladislao being put through his paces out there. Gets a little fist bump, glove bump from Ochoa. Nice play, says Eric. Over to second on it is Ortellado. And it looks like we might have a substitution being reported. We'll wait for the call. Luigi Pinto will come on to bat for Tyler Johnson. Johnson in the 9 spot in the batting order. Johnson, the left fielder for the Dukes. Meanwhile, Scott Patterson will come over to the opposite on-deck circle and find a spot out of harm's way. So skipper Scott Standifer looking for any scoring opportunity with a runner at second base, opts for Pinto. Pop up, that one's going to be over the top. That one gets off the glove of Mullins to the screen. Wild pitch for Bestgrove over to third is Ortellado. Ball and a strike. Pinto is the leading home run hitter for the Dukes. He's got 6 on the year, a couple of more than anybody else, but did not start in this one. High hopper to Evans, spin, turn and throw for the out. Coming in with a run for the Dukes is Ortellado. Nice defense by Cole Evans. Here we get a chance to see it again on the replay. High hopper back towards the bag. Nice nifty turn and throw by Cole Evans. So Pinto does what he's asked to do, get the runner home. And back to the top of the order to Scott Patterson. Patterson, a couple of strikeouts so far. Patterson and Bestgrove, teammates on the Australian national team. No courtesy extended by Bestgrove, who throws the rise ball up and by Patterson. Just off the plate outside. It was the ball down and away that he's got Patterson on twice. Comes back and tries to get him a third time. Bestgrove's pitch clocking out at 83 miles per hour. Not far off the Marco Diaz standard. Marco was hitting the gun at 85 and 86 in Elkland last week. Elkland, Pennsylvania, the Gremlins Invitational, won by the Gremlins. Gremlins defeating the Drillers in the semi and the Chiefs in the final. High rise ball. They appeal the call and he did not go, says our first base umpire Kevin Wallace. So the count even at 2-2. Low and away, misses. So Bestgrove runs the count full, 3-2. One walk in the first, two more in the third. Having to come in to Patterson here. Ground ball to third, Avery up with it. Ochoa, side retired for Jack Bestgrove. In the inning though, the Dukes get a run on one hit, and they cut the margin 6-1 now as we head to the home half of the fourth inning. You're watching the Men's Major USA Softball National Championship on the Gremlins Network, courtesy of Softball Premier TV. We'll be right back. Top half of the fourth inning for the Gremlins. It'll be 4, 5, 6. That means Evans, Hunter, and Avery. Matthew Beckett still in the circle. He was the starter for the Dukes. Just Jack Bestgrove on the other side, likewise. Rise ball stays upstairs for a ball. Evans, no official at-bats in this game. He's been to the plate twice, he's walked twice, and scored once. Strike at the high end of the strike zone at the letters. Cole with 6 home runs, one yesterday, and pulled closer to Ochoa before Eric unloaded. High hopper to short. Up with it is Orteado, over to Palazzo for the first out. Here's Blake Hunter. Hunter 0 for 1, a strikeout. Walked back in the first and scored one of those 4 runs in the first. The Gremlin first inning that generated the 4 runs, it was 2 hits, 2 walks, but 3 wild pitches that proved costly for the Dukes. Really put them in a hole right from the start. Just off the plate outside, good hard one from Beckett. Beckett, the young right-hander from Australia, can really bring it, but it's been the rise ball that seems to be the one that gets away today. There's a good hard one, though. Swing and a miss by Hunter. Good movement on that pitch from Beckett. Little slow roller to second base, flips it up. Does that Leskowski back in? Matt Harrow in at second base. Leskowski started, and Cody Smith went in as a runner and took an at-bat. We'll make the change on our scorecard. Another of the fine Australian players on this team from Denmark, Wisconsin. Here's Brian Avery. Over the chop drop, missing just off the plate. Avery 1 for 2 in the day. A single to center his last time up. Got to second on a wild pitch, but unable to score. Swinging a foul tip right back to the screen. Despite his troubles, Beckett has been able to settle down a little bit. He retired the last 3 hitters in the third. Had a 1-2-3 inning last inning. So now on the verge of setting down 9 in a row. Hard one misses downstairs. You can hear him grunting with the delivery, trying to put a little extra on it. High pop up in shallow right field. Second baseman Harrow back for the catch for the third out. So an easy 1-2-3 inning for Matthew Beckett. He's now set down 9 Gremlins in a row, but the Dukes still chasing a 5 spot, 6-1 in this one. We'll be back with more and the Circle Tap Dukes. Some defensive changes for the Gremlins. Kuba Osika, the young right-hander from Czechia, comes on in relief of Jack Besgrove. Besgrove struggling a little bit to throw strikes towards the end of his stint. Skipper Greg Leather giving the Dukes something different to look at. Besgrove surrendering just 1 run on 4 hits in his 4 innings pitched. Behind the plate coming in is Blake Hunter to catch in place of Mullins. Hunter started the game at the DP, so just a change of position there. Hunter and Ositka have been working together as a pair over the last few weeks. Hard one hit into the hole, first pitch swinging. Callum Bieshel doesn't waste any time. So Bieshel greets Osika with a leadoff single. Matt Palazzo will step in for his first look at Kuba. Fifth hit in the game for the Dukes. Hard one over the top in for a called strike. That one splits the uprights right across the heart of the plate. Kuba comes in with an ERA under 2. Not quite in the stratosphere of Jack Besgrove's 0.7, but a very good one against this caliber of competition. Swing and a miss, down on strikes on a big Rise ball jumping against Palazzo. So first strikeout of the game for Cuba. And the batter is Ezekiel. Ezekiel, a ground out to first and a walk, both of those at-bats against Bestgrove. In for a strike at the letters. Ezekiel looked back at our home plate umpire, Steve Meeker, in a couple of words, but not a pitch that Ezekiel liked. Change up and coming off a little body English on that one, way outside the zone. Cuba's changeup looked as good yesterday as it has all year. Seems to be a pitch in development, but used it often in his outing against the Pueblo Bandits. Hard one, foul in front of the plate. Way upstairs, misses with a rise ball. Cuba with 51 innings to this point in the season. Jack Bestgrove by comparison with 86. But Cuba is number 2 in that category. He's been the number 2 option for skipper Greg Leather all year. Line shot to right field. Peñuelas back and makes a nice catch. Running away. Ezekiel putting the barrel on that one, but Peñuelas runs it down. So second out of the inning recorded. Back to Cody Smith. Smith entered the game as a runner, batted in the third and walked against Bestgrove. Swing and a miss. Roundhouse rise ball. Misses way upstairs. Cuba with 73 strikeouts in those 51 innings. So better than 1 per. Bestgrove around 2, the gold standard. Hard one, misses upstairs. Not quite in the rhythm that he had going yesterday. Coming off the bench here. 2 balls and a strike to Smith. Line shot into center. Base hit for Smith. Moving up to second on the play is Callum Bischel. That one left up in the zone, and Cody Smith made him pay. So with 2 out, Cole Evans going to come in and have a quick word with his pitcher. He and Cuba Osika. Looked to be a little longer conversation, so my guess is something about the runners more than what Cuba is doing in the circle. Here's Tyler Damon, 1 for 2 on the day. Infield single, ball hit to second, and a ground out to short. Cuba misses inside with that one. Osika, a newcomer to the Gremlins in the 2024 season, came out of the Checha junior program. Hard one in for a called strike. Good follow through on that one from Osika. Good over the top rotation on the drop. Swing and a miss inside, tied him up on that pitch. Good location. Good set by catcher Blake Hunter. So advantage now, Cuba, 1 ball and 2 strikes against Damon. Orteado waiting in the wings on deck. Swing and a miss on a rise. That one starting at the letters, up and out of the strike zone. Great movement on the pitch from Osika as the sides retired. 2 strikeouts in the inning for the Dukes. 2 hits, no runs to show for it. 2 men left. To the 6th we go. We'll be back with more. I'm Jim Flanagan on the Gremlins Network, courtesy of our friends at Softball Premier TV. Top of the 6th inning for the Gremlins, 7-8-9. Abelardo Peñuelas will start it off. He'll be followed by Malarzouk and then Mullen's spot. Line shot right at third baseman Matt Harrow, or excuse me, Cody Smith. Cody Smith making the rounds in this game. So 1 out recorded. Here's Malarzouk. Malarzouk has gone to the warning track twice against Beckett. Strike in for the first bit. Laddie, big smile on his face, not losing sleep over that one. He didn't think so, but that's where we are. Foul tip, a little change up on that one. Out in front was Malarzouk. So in a hole 0-2. Foul tipped to the screen. Malarzouk with a couple of dozen hits on the year, a good chunk of those in the last couple of weeks. He's really come on. Lays off the drop. They appeal the call, and no, says our third base umpire, Dallas Afflebecker. Dallas from Eagan, Minnesota. Not far from Mankato, where this tournament was held last year. High and deep to center field. I think he's got one. He does. Ladislao Malarzouk has gone to the warning track twice, and now that one carries up and out of here. Long ball Laddie adds another run for the Gremlins. Malarzouk continues his hot hitting. Had one last night in the nightcap, and now another one here today. So the Gremlins get back the run they surrendered earlier. And it is Nick Mullins. Mully 0 for 2 on the day, strikeout swinging and a fly out to center. Hard one in for a strike. A little extra emphasis on that pitch from Beckett. Good hard one, good location. Over the top, took a little bit off of that one. Beckett started for the Dukes, got in trouble in the first, surrendered the 4. Has been pretty steady since then. It actually set down 10 in a row before the homer by Malarzouk. Change up, a good one, just nibbling on the edges. Swing and a miss, rise ball right by Mullins. Avery reached on a single to lead off the third, then he set down 10 in a row until Malarzouk. Hop and a skip, misses with that one away. Damon's going to rub the ball up and we'll go again. Full count on Mullins, 3-2. Deep left field, but not deep enough. Right at Tyler Johnson. 2 outs. Not unlike the home run Mullen hit yesterday, same trajectory, just not quite as deep. So back to the top of the order. It'll be the 4th at-bat of the game for Matthew Waugh. Matthew 1 for 3 on the day, had the double in the second and came around to score one of the 2 runs in that inning. Hard one in for a strike right down the heart of Main Street with that one. Good location though, low in the zone. Lace to left field. That one's in for a base hit. Matthew Waugh with his 2nd hit of the game. Sort of an inside-out swing. Watch, we'll get to see it again on the replay. Stays behind the ball, just goes the other way with it. And back to Ochoa we are. Eric 2 for 3 on the day, singled and homered. Flied out to center field last time up, just missed. Hitting a 2nd one. Ball low. Circle Tap cannot afford to give up another run here as we approach run ahead rule territory. The margin right now 7-1, not quite there. But Beckett needing to get off the field and get his team back to hitting. Foul tip, just missed that one. Had a swing. Bob Neidick down in the third base coach's box for the Gremlins. Good to see Bob out here this week. Greg Hicks, the mainstay over at first in that coach's box. Off the plate away. So falling behind against Ochoa, pitching understandably careful. Greg Leather now back to the third base box. So Bob Neidig just holding a spot for Greg. Hard grounder in the hole. Base hit for Ochoa. Rounding second on his way to third. Matthew Waugh standing. And Ochoa, third hit of the day. We mentioned that Ochoa started the day with 37 hits on the year, about 15 more than anybody else. He's got 3 today. That puts him at an even 40. And here's Ben Inoka. Inoka 2 for 3 on the day. Single to center, ground it to third. Ball off the plate outside. No easy outs in this New York lineup, top to bottom. Final score being reported in the other winners bracket semi. The Chiefs a 1-0 win over the Northeast Drillers, so they will face the winner of this game. Meanwhile, Inoka lines one foul up along the fence in the corner in right field. If this score holds, that would be a number 1 ranked Gremlin versus number 2 ranked Chiefs. But Circle Tap, with a few innings to go, have another idea. Line to second base, a one-hop pickup. Nice play over there by Matt Harrow. Flips it to Palazzo for the final out. The Gremlins get a run, though, on the home run by Malar Zook. 3 hits in the inning, 2 men left. To the home half of the 6th we go. Early getting late for the Dukes of Circle Tap. We'll be back with more right after this. Home half of the 6th inning for the Dukes. They'll send up 7, 8, 9. Ortellado, Harrow, and Tyler Johnson. Cuba Osika back in the circle, came on in relief of Bestgrove last inning. A couple quick notes on that other semifinal winners bracket game, the 1-0 win by the Chiefs. Marco Diaz going the distance, throwing a no-hitter, striking out 11. Alan Pecker with a home run, the lone run for the Chiefs. So they will be back on the field tonight at 8 p.m. taking on the winner of this one. The tournament now with only 3 unbeaten teams, 2 of them right here on your screen. High and deep to left field. Back is Waugh at the fence. Just foul. Had the distance, just a few feet to the left. So Orteado swinging a good bat in this game. He's 2 for 2. Single to right, single to second base. Now turns on a pitch, just about got it out. A ball and 2 strikes, advantage Cuba. Hard over the top drop, it's going to be grounded foul. Orteado scored the lone run for the Dukes when he reached on that infield single. High hopper to Evans. Evans up with it over to Ochoa for the first out. And Circle Tap running out of outs now, down to their final 5. Here's Matt Harrow. Matt 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out swinging and a ground out to Malarzouk at second. Both of those against Jack Besgrove, the starter. Grounder foul. Same pitch, same result. Tosika burying that drop ball downstairs. Deep center field, but right at Benny Noka. Camps under it and makes the catch for out number 2. Hard hit ball off the bat of Harrow, but nothing to show. 2 outs. Tyler Johnson will step in. Johnson back into the lineup after Luigi Pinto pinch hit for him last time. That was the RBI, the lone run for the Dukes. Change up and a beauty, floats that one in. That's the one we looked at all day long yesterday. Newest development, a work in progress, but a very good one for Cuba. There it is again, that one not so good. Wasn't showing it at all yesterday, and was getting great location and even some great movement on it. That one looked a little forced. Johnson, one hopper to Evans. Evans over to Ochoa. Looks familiar. 3 up and down for Osika in the 6th. Circle Tap down to their final 3 outs. 7-1 Gremlins. Looking towards the finish line, trying to close it out here and find themselves in that 8 p.m. winners bracket final against the Hill United Chiefs. You're watching the 2024 USA Softball Men's Major National Championship right here on the Gremlins Network. Alongside me, Luciano Lafrano and his wife Carol doing all the heavy lifting on Softball Premier TV. Come on back for the end of this one. Top half of the 7th inning, it'll be Cole Evans to start things off. So 4, 5, and 6 in the New York batting order. Hunter and Avery to follow. Evans 0 for 1 on the day. A couple of walks, 1 run scored back in that 4-run first. Hard one, a good rise ball from Beckett. He has been stronger down the stretch. Save for the home run to Malarzuk had set down 10 in a row, really settled in. Trying to keep his team right where they are to have a chance in the 7th. Good pitch, a foul tip off the bat of Evans. You can really sum up this game by looking at the first inning. That's where all the damage was done. Circle Tap digging himself a hole, giving up the 4 runs, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 3 wild pitches. That really spelled the tail in this semifinal game. Pop up on the right side, it'll be out of play. So the only game going on right now in Rockford, Michigan, everybody waiting to see who will face the Hill United Chiefs, who remain unbeaten with their 1-0 win over the number 3 ranked Northeast Drillers on the Marco Diaz no-hitter. Fly ball right field, chasing it down is Bichel. Out of play. Shallow center field's going to fall in front of Scott Patterson. Cole Evans aboard with a single to lead things off in the 7th. So Evans joins the hit club. Almost everyone in the batting order for the Gremlins, save a couple with hits. Matthew Waugh with 2. Eric Ochoa with 3. Inoka with 2. Malarzuk with the home run, and now Evans with a single. Here's Hunter, swing and a miss. No doubt about what Blake had in mind on that one. 0 for 2. Strikeout, ground out to second. He walked in the first and scored. Little slow roller to short. They go the short way, they get the out. Not in time to get Hunter down at first. Not a hard hit ball to Ortellado. He made sure of the first one. Tane Mumu will come on to run for Blake Hunter. Only 1 out, so that would not be the 2-out catcher rule. Mumu coming in to run. One of the speedy trio at the disposal of skipper Greg Leather. Mumu, Masmo, and the recent addition of Abayardo Peñuelas. 3 speedy weapons for the skipper. Here's Brian Avery. That went in for a called strike. Brian 1 for 3, single to center back in the 3rd. Ground out in a pop-up to go with that. Swing and a miss. Just missed that one, did Brian. Four in the first for the Gremlins, 2 in the 2nd, and they haven't looked back since. Line to the gap in right center field. Avery's got a hit. Around second and easily steaming into third is the speedy Mumu. Took a turn around third, had an idea about going home, now having a laugh about that with the skipper. Greg Leather with the giant size stop sign, saying hold on there, Tawny. So runners at the corners, and it'll be one of the other speedy youngsters, Abelardo Peñuelas, to step in. Peñuelas 0 for 3, one of the few games we haven't seen him on base at some point. Over the top drop. Beckett has saved some of his best pitches for Abelardo. Fly out, strike out, line out for the youngster. Off the plate away for a ball. Way upstairs. Two balls and a strike to Abelardo. High hopper to short. Ortellado up with it over to Palazzo for the out. Coming home to score is Tane Mumu. 8-1 Gremlins. So Abelardo unable to reach. Here you see the replay, but he drives in the run. Big high hopper, no chance to make a play other than at first base. Mumu was halfway home by the time the ball came down. So it's Abri at second, and here is Malarzouk. Malarzouk 1 for 3 on the day. Fly ball warning track, fly ball warning track, and the third one, deep fly past the warning track for the home run. You know you're in for a tough day when you see the 8 hitters in the batting order doing the damage that Malarzouk has been of late. No rest for the weary. Lays off the rise ball, they appeal it. No, says our third base umpire, Dallas Affelbecker. Malarzouk had an idea but managed to hold up. If you're a Circle Tap fan looking ahead to the 7th, it's top of the order. Patterson, Bichel, and Palazzo. Hard one. Just off the plate. Strike in on the outside edge. Beckett has been strong since he got past the first 2. Other than the homer, the solo homer by Malarzouk, that's it. That's all the scoring took place in those first 2 frames. Swing and a miss right on by Malarzouk. So the count full on Ladislao Malarzouk. Abri still looking on from second base. Deep to right field. Patterson back towards the warning track and brings it in for the final out. So Malarzouk, fly ball city all day long, but that one's staying in the ballpark. The Gremlins add another, though. They'll take an 8-1 lead to the home half of the 7th inning. 8 runs on 8 hits for the Gremlins. 1 run, 5 hits for the Dukes. We'll be back with the finish of this one. Home half of the 7th. 3 outs to go. Last call for the Circle Tap Dukes from Denmark, Wisconsin. Trying to find a way into that winner's bracket final. A steep hill to climb, though. The Gremlins, 8 runs. It's an 8-1 margin. Top of the order for the Dukes, it'll be Patterson, Bichel, the 2 Aussies, followed by captain of the USA team, Matt Palazzo. Patterson 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts and a ground out. Both of those, or all 3 of those, against the starter, Jack Besgrove, his first look at Osika. 1 hopper to Avery at third, over to Ochoa, 1 out. Here's Callum Bichel, one of the bright spots for the Dukes on the day. 2 hits in 3 at-bats. Both of those singles the other way to right field. He was the first batter to face Kuba Osika. Kuba came in with a clean slate to start the 5th, and Bichel greeted him with a single. In for a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Way upstairs, big roundhouse rise ball. Good elevation on that pitch. Another one that's really developing as the season has gone on for Kuba. More comfortable throwing that, getting lots of great movement. A little too much movement on that one. It sails to the backstop. Working best when he drives forward with the legs. That one's sort of a force. Trying to elevate it, but a 1-2 count. No harm in a waste pitch, 0-2. Now 1-2. Fly ball to center. Benny, a couple of steps. Inoka camps under it and makes the catch, out number 2. So the New York Gremlins just 1 out away from a spot in the winner's bracket final here in Rockford in this 2024 event. Hill United with a win against the Drillers, waiting to see who their opponent will be. Here's Palazzo, 0 for 2. Pop up to short, strikeout. He walked back in the first. Change up and a good one. Coming on to try and make the catch, Eric Ochoa around the fence. Somehow able to come up with that ball as he limps back away. Not something the skipper wants to see, but an outstanding defensive play by Eric Ochoa, doing it all for the Gremlins. Some high fives and fist bumps around as they continue the march. They'll be back on the field tonight at 8 p.m. They'll take on the number 2 ranked Hill United Chiefs. For Circle Tap, they suffer their first loss. They stay alive in this event, and they'll continue play, try and get back into the circle onto the field tomorrow. Final score here from Rockford, 8-1 Gremlins over Circle Tap. I'm Jim Flanagan. You've been watching the 2024 USA Softball Men's Major National Championship. Thanks to our friends at Softball Premier TV, Luciano Lofrano and his wife Carol, all of the hard work and heavy lifting they've done throughout the weekend. We'll be back with you tonight, 8 p.m. You don't want to miss it, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm Jim Flanagan. We'll see you then.
Latest in softball innovation, site where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas.
Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more.
The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. Softball Premier